Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fall of Porcupine. Last time we had another shift. I actually didn't think there would be any more, but there were. And it was a bit of a... You could say it was a bit of a depressing one. We are still very much shaken up after Irma's death. And that is, I think, the theme of the town today as well. Everyone is shaking up, and we are at the moment at the wake. We've just talked to Gregor outside, which whom is definitely also blaming himself for the leak that could very potentially have contributed a lot to Irma's death as well. Today we are hopefully going to have his service. I just wanted to go out. No, I should talk to Giuliano because we saw one of the bullies outside. The funeral's probably just about to start. Yeah, I really hope that they are not going to do anything. Irma used to pick me up from kindergarten. I think my mom ran a restaurant with her once. But that was a long time ago now. I really hope they're not gonna do anything. Just let this one go. Oh, did you find him? Yeah, he's the janitor at the hospital. But he doesn't want to come in. I think he needs some time to himself. I think we all do. I'm glad he's here, though. Speaking of which, how are you holding up? I'm coping. But please let me know if there's anything I can do. I will, my friend. Please, sit down. It's about to start. Okay, well, let's sit down. Dear guests, could I have your attention for a moment? Thank you all for coming. I can barely bring myself to speak. But last night, Irma, my dear mother, passed away. She was a real talker, always telling stories, and she was surrounded by people who loved her. That's you guys. Thanks for that, all of you. When I was little, she taught me to play an instrument. She practiced with me. And I hated every second of it. But when I was playing, her eyes would just light up. I wish she could look at me that way again. I want to play a very special song for you. A song Irma requested every time I picked that instrument up. I remember one day it was really frosty when I had to deliver my letters. I slipped on a patch of ice. My whole mailbag fell into the river with all the letters still inside it. And I tore my cruciate ligament. Irma not only helped me fish every single letter out of the river, she even dried them, restored them, and delivered them for me. Irma worked with my parents in a restaurant. Things had been going downhill for a while. Then Irma came up with a new dish. Rainbow beet gratin, maybe? It was a hit. Before long, it was the only dish anyone wanted. Irma and I used to play backgammon together every Thursday in the summer. How did you know Irma, Finley? Ooh, do we need to choose? I'll tell you how that squirt knew Emma. Oh, here we go. He's the one who let her die. It's the truth. Irma was in great shape. Then one day she just bends over, sprains an ankle, ends up in the hospital, and a few days later suddenly she's sick, real sick. And then she just dies. I'm telling you, it's all that guy's fault. Him and all the staff at that awful hospital. I just heard them talking about it right now. They're letting the hospital deteriorate. It's so bad the folks who go there pick up new diseases in the wards. Irma didn't even have pneumonia until they took her to that dump. I'm telling you, Irma didn't just die. She was murdered there. At St. Ursula's, if St. Ursula's wasn't so useless, Irma would still be with us today. We'd be celebrating, not mourning. Everyone who works there should stand up and take the blame for this. We'd all be better off if that hospital was torn down and never darkened our skyline again. Ralph, that's a crock of nonsense. Nah, hold on. Maybe he's got a point? Yeah, St. Ursula's is a danger to us all. That's right, we need to run these murderers out of town. Maybe it would be better that way. Wow. Look around you. Do you see anyone from the hospital here except for this clown? Exactly. They don't even have the nerve to come to the funeral. Because they know it's their fault, plain as the nose on your face. But quiet, everyone. Please. This isn't about pointing the finger at anyone. This isn't about St. Ursula's. It's about Irma, my mother, your friend. Finley? Yeah? I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but perhaps it would be best if you leave. Please, I don't want this argument to ruin Irma's memorial. I'll make it up to you, I promise. Let's talk later. Okay. Wow, what a town. Oh man, that didn't go how I expected. Looks like my cell phone had no reception at Gilbert's. Mia and Carl both tried to call me. Let's call Mia. Hey Finley. Thanks for calling me back. I was worried when I saw you today. Are you okay? I'd be lying if I said I was. Oh. I don't know if it'll help, but I actually have plans for tonight. I think I need to get my mind off things, and I'm guessing you might want to as well? If you come along, we could help each other. Pina will be there too. Sure, why not? Cool. I just got off work. I'm standing in the middle of the town square. Perfect, I'm heading your way now. Let's meet at the hospital entrance, okay? She just got off work. And we'll meet at the hospital entrance. Oh, okay, I guess. Alright, see you soon. I guess she's changing and what not people do after a shift at the hospital. I hope your evening went better than mine. Wow, I know I read some reviews that you know whatever is happening in this town is completely normal and standard in a lot of at least to the hospitals with the healthcare system is completely normal in a lot of towns. I can't say that we have you know the world's best healthcare system in Denmark, but it is nowhere like this. Sure, we have our issues, but not like this. Not like this. That was rough. I was sure, you know, that those two bullies would be on their own, but evidently the entire town is in agreement with them. That was a shocker. That was a shocker to me. Is the funeral over already? Dr. Krakowski told me you were there. Sure was. There was an argument. People said it was my fault Irma died. What? I wanted to explain myself, but didn't get the chance. That's so mean. It makes me so angry. Yeah. Can we change the subject, maybe? Anything special going on in your life? Well, Today's my stage debut. Stage debut? What do you mean? I'm rehearsing with the Porcupine Amateur Dramatics Group for the first time. Wanna come watch? I want to get used to having an audience. Do I need to do anything? Watch, listen, nod. And don't be too harsh a critic. I can do that. Yeah, let's go. The rehearsal's taking place on the small stage in the park. Well, we know where that is because Finley had a bit of his own theatrics going on there. Let's see who is in this this theatrical group as well. I mean, Pina would be there. She said. She's crazy enough to be in this group as well. To be honest. A bit chilly though to be rehearsing outside. Is it just Pina? No, there's a few people. Okay. Don't know who you are. We know the first guy, or the last guy here. Don't know the rest, really. Well, we know Pina, of course. Mia! I'm so glad you came. And you brought Finley with you, too. Yes, I asked if he wanted to come. But just to watch. Watching? Nonsense. You're just in time. One of our members dropped out today. Caught a flu at the hibernation festival or something. Oh no, can we still rehearse without them? Sure we can, you've brought the perfect replacement. But... oh, yes, Finley, please say you'll join in. I'm sure that's just what I need to feel more comfortable in my first role. Okay. Yay. I was in a theater group in elementary school. But I might be a little rusty. What's the play? Will it even work with someone new in the role? That's what's so great. We're an improv troupe. We give everyone a role at the start of the show, then just see what happens. And tonight we've got something very special in store. A terrible crime that needs solving. I'm scared already. You're telling me. And you, Finley, are going to be our detective, the private eye. Wow, we get the main role. Of course we do. The guy who was a little too tough for the police. You're basically the referee. It'll be great practice for the rest of the group. Oh, okay. I hope I can pull this off. I know you can. This is gonna be great. Is everyone ready? Yep. I'm already pumped. Let's go. I guess we're going. Alright. You've all been given a brief on your roles. Any questions? Good. Folks, we've got 2 new additions today, so to celebrate I've come up with something special. Listen up everyone. We open on an old hospital. Classic. It's 6 in the morning. There's a storm outside. The rain's coming down in buckets as, one by one, you enter the building. Shortly after the shift begins, we hear the chief physician's voice break into a horrifying scream. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Okay, I'm not gonna scream. Let's just, let me feel your terror. Okay, she's screaming much better now. Much better. A body was found in the chief physician's office. But it's not just anybody. It's the body of the chief physician's personal assistant. You gather in the break room. The fresh coffee is still bubbling in the pot when the door flies open once more. Into the room strides none other than the city's most famous detective. Finley, that's your cue. Oh, I'm outside. Okay. His face is grave, his steps determined, and so the questioning begins. Finley, you just let me know when you're ready to give your verdict, okay? Or we actually need to solve something, okay? Alright, folks. Let the interrogation begin. Oh, okay. Okay, Mia, let's start with you. You don't understand how awful it was. Okay, she's a chief physician, yes. If it were just a dead body, I wouldn't have been so shocked. I've seen more than a few of them over the course of my career. But in my office? Before my third cup of coffee? What's the world coming to? How am I doing, Finley? Am I convincing? You're doing great, but you need to stay in character. Oh, yeah, oops. I'd like to ask you about the incident. Yes, of course. I think we all want to get to the bottom of this. And as soon as possible, too. Okay, where were you at the time of the murder? Did you notice anything unusual? Do you suspect anyone? Okay, where were you at the time of the murder? I'm busy, so keep it short. Very well, I'll be brief. Where were you when the incident happened? I wasn't in the building at the time of the incident. I'd already left early yesterday evening. I always try to get here as early as possible as a rule. That way I can finish the day's work early too. Only today my car broke down, so I didn't arrive until the same time as the rest of the staff. The break room service took forever, but maybe that was lucky for me in the end. Otherwise it could have been me lying here cold on the floor. Horrible. That does rule me out completely as a suspect though. I see. Okay, where were you at the time of the murder? Okay, I'm busy, so keep it short. Yeah. Very well, I'll be brief. Where were you when the incident happened? Is this this is literally what we just asked. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Did you notice anything unusual? Is there anything else you'd like to add? Just can't stop wondering why it had to happen in my office of all places. And how? The only person with a key besides me was my assistant. And we couldn't stand each other. I don't know what he was doing in my office. As far as I know, he was never in my office unless I was there too. His key was only for emergencies. Okay. Do you suspect anyone? If you ask me, it was the nurse anyway. My PA made some nursing cuts a few weeks ago. And I've heard nothing but complaints ever since. Okay, personal assistance, yes. She also has a penchant for being unprofessionally emotional, if you know what I mean. Okay. Well, I'll get back to you. Please hurry up. I'd love to help, but I've been busy all morning. Okay, is it all the same questions? Kind of. Okay, this might take a while. Where were you at the alleged time of the murder? Busy, eh? With what? Sometime last night, that damn pipe in the basement burst again. That's the third time this month. Not that anyone cares, and everything's always underwater. So I spent the whole morning on my hands and knees down there tinkering around. And then I thought, what's that strange object in the water? And hey presto, I had the murder weapon in my hand. Not that I knew that at the time, obviously. Okay, so he found the murder weapon in the basement. This seems like the janitor then. Did you notice anything unusual? I don't know if this is relevant, but I talked to the guy a lot. Out on the stairs after work, he's the only guy here that smokes apart from me, see? 2 days ago, he was saying some weird stuff. Thought someone was following him, stuff like that. I managed to calm him down, told him he was imagining it. Turns out he wasn't. Alright, thanks for the tip. Do you suspect anyone? Maybe the ambulance driver. He was always kind of weird when it came to the PA. Saw him sitting in front of the guy's office again yesterday. Don't know if that helps. Do you know anything about this chief physician? Well, I don't think my boss would kill anyone. She has a lot of money and a nice apartment. Why would she ruin all that? Nah, I don't see her doing that. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Does that invoke anything new? Okay, we actually can ask what she thinks of the janitor, so he is the janitor. I'll be honest with you. I've always had the suspicion that he was up to something crooked. He's always creeping around everywhere. cropping up where you least expect him. I think he's been stealing, but I don't have any proof yet. Okay. It's really terrible what happened. I still can't believe it. I was even here when the crime took place, and I still couldn't do anything. Okay, where were you at the alleged time of murder? Where in the building were you at the time of the crime? I always come in extra early, because I like to work in peace before the hustle and bustle starts. So I sat in my office all morning, going through patient records. I haven't been here long. I was eager for a fresh start after my previous hospital. And I get along very well with everyone here. But I'm still trying to get up to speed. Okay, she might be the nurse. Or he, I guess. Did you notice anything unusual? As you may already know, I'm pretty new here. So I probably wouldn't even notice if there was something out of the ordinary. But maybe that will help you provide a more objective view than your colleagues. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, do you suspect anyone? I don't want to make any false accusations, but there is one thing as it happens. The chief physician came to see me a few days ago. She asked me to keep an eye on the janitor. I think he was seen hanging around my floor a few times, heading into the storeroom. Some people suspect him of stealing medication. And have you noticed anything? No, I've never seen him there. But maybe the murder victim caught him in the act. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, truly. Are you getting along with your chief physician? At the risk of sounding like a phony? I respect her very much, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to work under her. I think I can still learn a lot from her. Okay, what do you think about the janitor? I mainly stay out of his way, since my boss pointed out her suspicions to me. I know she's said to keep an eye on him, but I just always get shivers down my spine at the idea of having dealings with a criminal. Okay, I think that's it for now. Yes, I'm happy to help if I can. That must be the nurse then. I don't know how that could have happened. It was the chief physician. I'm sure of it. You've got to believe me. She would have done anything for him, but she swept that under the table. She would have done anything for him, but she swept that under the table. Okay. If he threatened her with it, she wouldn't hesitate to resort to such means. Anything to preserve her career. I did see her leaving the building last night, when I was just starting my night shift, but doesn't mean anything at all. Okay, where were you at the time of the murder? Me? I was only here for a cigarette break. Yeah, the ambulance driver is the one that smokes, right? I just got back from the night shift, and I was going to go straight home after that. Did you notice anything unusual? Well, I don't know if it's really relevant, but before the PA started here, he worked at another hospital. But he was falsely accused of involuntary manslaughter, so they fired him. Can you imagine that? I really don't know how to make heads or tails of this one so far. Do you suspect anyone? I told you, the chief physician, of course. Haven't you ever seen a detective drama? Have you spoken to the new doctor at all? I heard the news when she first started here, but I've never really talked to her. I don't think she liked the PA very much. What do you think about the janitor? He's a nice guy. We used to smoke together a lot because our shifts synced up well. They don't sync up so much anymore, but he's pretty reliable and nicer than most of the others. Okay, what is your opinion of the chief physician? She is sneaky, I'm telling you. Thinks she's so much better than other people, just because she can boss us all around. I'm surprised she wasn't kicked out years ago. She's just a bad influence on everyone else. Okay. Oh man, I need a coffee. Okay, let's see. Do you have anything new with you? Okay, we do actually. Let's see. The chief's physician's story makes me wonder. Do you know how your chief physician felt about her assistant? And where was she today? I don't know what kind of relationship my boss had with the PA, but she always leaves the building at the same time on Mondays. I think it's because she wants to catch that show about doctors on TV, which is always on at that time. That's what someone told me once at least. I don't know if she's a suspect, but I think she's a smart woman. I don't think she would have killed anyone in her own office, where she'd be one of the most obvious suspects, but that's just my opinion. She was cursing her head off when she arrived this morning too, because her car broke down. I saw them towing it away. That's also a pretty good alibi. And did you ever speak to the ambulance driver? I've seen him in the corridors a few times, but apart from a friendly nod here and there, we've never really interacted. Okay. Are you getting along with the chief physician? I think we've asked this one. Yes, at the risk of sounding phony, she absolutely adores her. Okay. Does that change anything with you? Have you spoken to the new doctor? Think about the janitor. What's your opinion? Yeah, okay. I think we've done everything with you for now. So for you, anything unusual? Do you suspect anyone? What do you think about the ambulance driver? We used to smoke together. That was pretty nice, actually. He's quit now, so we don't see each other that often anymore. But he's also been a little weird recently. Maybe he wants a job or something. But he's been chasing the PA around a lot. Oh. Tell me about the new doctor. I think she's avoiding me. But I don't know why. Okay. Do you know anything about the chief physician? I think we've asked this. Yeah, well, I don't think she would kill anyone. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Mia again, or the chief physician. Something about your statement makes me wonder. You told me earlier that you and your PA couldn't stand each other, correct? That's correct. Interesting, especially as I've heard from various sources that the two of you got along very well. That is wild speculation, and anyway, it should make me even less of a suspect, if anything. True, I lied, but I only did it for the sake of my image. I don't want to be the kind of boss who's known for playing favorites, so I treat everyone the same. Okay. What do you think about the ambulance driver? I don't think I've ever talked to him. I think you just said that twice. I don't interact with most of the employees here on a regular basis, if you know what I mean. I don't actually. Okay. Yeah, tell me about the new doctor. She hasn't been here long, just a couple of months. But she's proven a good fit. I was a little skeptical at first, because I didn't know if she was assertive enough. But it's worked out fine in the end. She's normally very reliable. Though I did find a stack of uncompleted files on her desk just today. Okay. I think we've asked about the janitor. I'll be honest with you, I've always had the suspicion, yeah, he's stealing. Okay, this is getting tricksy. I was told you don't smoke anymore. You said you were taking a cigarette break. But you don't smoke anymore, do you? I'm not a murderer. I would never kill him. No, I don't smoke, but I am allowed to go anywhere in the hospital. Wherever I want, especially on my own to my own brother's office door. Especially to my own brother's office door. You heard right, he was my brother. And I would never hurt my own family. I'd rather kill myself. He may not have wanted to see me, but I can't help that he died before he could change his mind. And I know he would have done if I could have just talked to him again yesterday. What is that about? What was that about? You said you got along with all of them. Yet I've heard differently. I've been reliably informed that you didn't have a good relationship with the murder victim. I've never tried to hide it. Maybe not everyone knew, but that suited me just fine. Yeah, me and the PA, we clashed pretty often. He didn't always agree with my methods and opinions. And yeah, sometimes that made me angry, but angry enough to kill him? I'd never do that. No one gets along with every single one of their colleagues, and I'm no exception. That's normal. Okay. I think we've asked you everything for now. That's... I have no idea. What do you think about the ambulance driver? Tell me about the new doctor. Chief physician, I'll come back to you later. I don't think you have anything new. Anything new with you now? Were you aware that the ambulance driver was actually the brother of the victim? Did I know that they were related? Of course, I hired him after all. I'm not stupid. My assistant didn't like his brother very much. We discussed the prospect of firing him on several occasions. But in the end, he said his brother was weird, but harmless. In fact, he was a very peaceable person. All the same, he didn't want to talk to him. What do you think about the ambulance driver? Think about the new doctor? I don't think we have anything new to add here. Do you suspect anyone? Ambulance driver. Talk about the new doctor. Chief physician. I'll come back later. Do you notice anything unusual? Suspect anyone? Chief physician story. You said you'll get along with all of them. Ambulance driver. Chief physician. Janitor. I was told you don't smoke anymore. Have you spoken to the new doctor at all? New janitor, chief physician. Do we have anything different here? Haven't you heard? Yeah, okay. I think that's all we have to go on. I mean, the only one I'm actually not suspecting is honestly the janitor. They did find the murder weapon, but the fact that the chief physician is the only one that has a key is a big tell. She might have set all this up, also all the story with her car, etc, etc, etc. The new doctor and the PA did not get along, and they are new doctors, so maybe they just decided to get rid of it. The ambulance driver, which was his brother, they clearly had some issues. But not enough really to it doesn't seem like... I believe the PA told the physician that this guy was a peaceful fella, completely harmless but weird. That being said, though, the janitor would be the only one that would have that might have keys to the entire building, right? Or did was it the ambulance driver that said they're allowed to go everywhere? This is gonna have to be a random guess, to be honest. But there was something that they wanted, the brother here wanted to change his mind about. I have no idea. We're gonna go with the ambulance driver. No, I couldn't stand him. What are we talking about now? But that doesn't make me a murderer. If I went around wanting to murder people, I'd have started actually doing it a long time ago. Not that I'm saying I did. Fact is, he just wasn't a nice guy. Ask the new doctor, she'll tell you. He really had it in for her. That's more of a motivation to kill him than I've ever had. Besides, I was on duty on another ward all night, so I couldn't have killed him anyway. Oh, we have some questions for her as well. Okay. I have some questions for you. Like I said, I was on duty. I don't know exactly when he was killed. But you're welcome to talk to all the patients on the ward. I spent a lot of time there that morning. having a very long conversation with a woman in room 7. She didn't feel well and she really wanted to talk to somebody about it. Not to mention giving them her whole life story. Okay. Did you notice anything unusual? I remember wondering about the lights. The light that was on in the chief physician's office. Though that was sometime in the early morning. Okay. Do you suspect anyone? No, I didn't see anyone. Or, wait. The janitor. I saw the janitor on that floor. He said he was looking for a ladder for some repair work. Unfortunately, I couldn't help him. I had my hands full myself that morning. Okay. Did the new doctor really get along with everyone? Because I heard differently. The new doctor? I don't really know anything about her. I wasn't that interested either. I just overheard that she and the PA clashed a lot. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that they came here from the same hospital. Ooh. The name was similar anyway, but whether they knew each other back then, I have no idea. It's a while since the PA left there. I ran into her several times yesterday. She said she wanted to move some files from her office into other offices. Spent all morning carrying boxes around. Okay. I heard something about... It has been implied that you might have had a motive after all. Namely, a personal dislike combined with the nursing cuts. I already told you that I didn't like him. But that doesn't mean I killed him. Being temperamental doesn't mean that I'm a murderer. Yeah, he made the nursing service even worse than it already was. I guess she's the new nurse? I don't know. And I could have laid into him about it then. But did I do it? No. Am I sad that he's dead? No. I'm still not a murderer. What do you think of the ambulance driver? I don't know who that is. Did you never have any contact with each other? No, never. You know, a hospital like this is a big place. If I ran around the building all day trying to make friends, do you know what would happen then? We'd have a lot fewer patients and a lot more funerals. That's what. That's fair. Okay, let's talk about the chief physician. I mean, she's my boss. What more can I say? Okay, that was quick. Tell me about the new doctor. We work on the same ward. The only thing I really remember was that the PA gave her a lot of stick. Most of it uncalled for. But I have no idea if she had a problem with that. Hey, janitor. We get along alright. He's quite a nice guy. Not very talkative, but I think we just both enjoy not having to talk for a change. I often think that the hospital would collapse without him. Okay. Doesn't really help me much, but... Looks like the janitor lied in his statements. Do you know anything regarding the whereabouts of the janitor today? The janitor's a suspect? But why would he want to kill my brother? I always thought he was good-natured, but maybe I was wrong about him too. But didn't he find the murder weapon as well? And he didn't know what it was? If I killed someone, I wouldn't turn the murder weapon over to the police. But who knows what goes on in his head? Okay. Let's see. Can you tell me about the nurse? She's busy most of the time, but I think we'd get along just fine. Sometimes she smiles at me in the hallway, so I think she believes that too. Okay. Let's see if the doctor here has anything. You said you got along with all of them. We've done that. Ambulance driver. I think we've done that. I've seen him in the corridor a few times, but apart from friendly nod here and there, yeah. What are your thoughts on the nurse? I respect anybody who works in nursing. I can hardly imagine the pressure these people must be under, even though I've heard that some of them don't handle it too well. Okay. So, talk to the janitor last. Were you aware that the ambulance driver was actually... I think that means it's talking about that he's his brother. Something about your statement makes me wonder. What do you think about the ambulance driver? What can you tell about the nurse? Tell about the new doctor and the janitor. Let's talk about the nurse. That's the one thing we haven't done. I mean, she does excellent work, no question. But her temperament was more of a hindrance than a help. And the PA recently made some nursing cuts. Other than that, she was certainly meant to be on duty. But you never know what people are actually up to. Okay. Let's see. I noticed something about the nurse. You suspect her? Well, when I was on the other ward, she was on duty there, just like she was meant to be. Because of her temper? I always thought it was just a rumor. There's another nurse on the ward who has frequent outbursts of anger. But the nurse dealt with it herself more often than not. Because she understood the reasons behind it. I think she just cares a lot about her team. Let's see. So you really were in the basement all morning. I've been asking around a bit here. And several people said they saw you. What? The nurse saw me? I was just fetching some tools like she thought. Honestly. Okay, I wasn't. I confess. I snuck out of the basement, but I didn't kill him. Sometimes I take medication from the hospital. Only a little. It's just all so expensive. So sometimes I take things that nobody needs anymore anyway. That's why I was in the ward, but that's the only reason. Okay. Don't think you have anything new. Well, you suspected him of stealing. Do you have anything new to say about that? No, apparently not. Well, I guess we'll do a... This episode is dragging on, but I really want to end this here. Which is why we're probably not going to get the right answer here. But the new doctor here came with the PA from the old hospital, where the PA was apparently falsely accused of a murder. So it might be the new doctor. So far, nothing new here. That I think, anyway. Had something about that. What do you think about the ambulance driver, chief physician? No, I honestly have no idea who it is. I think they all pretty much have an alibi, or not an alibi. They all have some sort of reason. So it's gonna be a kind of a shot in the dark here. What do you think? Can you reconstruct the course of the events? No, I really can't, but we have to get moving here. This is already taking long. I actually have plans today, so unfortunately we have to push it forward a little bit. Fantastic. So who did it? The case is absolutely clear. There's only one person who could have committed this heinous act, even though every single one of you had a motive. The solution is crystal clear. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go new doctor. I have no idea. Let's go new doctor. Only one of you didn't have an alibi at the time of the crime. The chief physician wasn't at the hospital at all because her car had broken down. Her only lie was that she did actually like her PA. The car was towed into the parking lot and seen by plenty of witnesses. That leaves 4 other suspects. The nurse's alibi is airtight. She was on duty the entire night, as attested to by several witnesses, including the janitor, and besides, she isn't temperamental at all. In reality, she's covering for someone else on her team. Unlike the janitor, who also has an alibi, only his alibi was a lie. Yes, he lied, but not because he committed the murder. In fact, he snuck into the nurse's ward to steal medication, which is also illegal, but not the crime we are looking for. That leaves us with two more suspects, the new doctor and the ambulance driver. The ambulance driver had a clear motive. After all, the murder victim was his brother. A brother he didn't love and who didn't want anything to do with him. However, at the time of the murder, he was sitting outside his brother's office, waiting for him as witnessed by the janitor. Now, all this may seem like a stab in the dark, pardon the pun, but there's only one person who lied about their alibi, and that person is the new doctor. She claimed she was in her office all morning correcting files. A rookie mistake. The nurse saw her carrying boxes around the hospital all morning. So why would she lie? The answer is obvious, because she was the one who committed the murder. Why, you ask? The answer is quite simple. She and the PA had history. And not just any history. She was involved in the incident that lost the PA his previous job and followed him to this hospital, driven by bitterness and revenge. But I still have one question, good doctor. That you committed the crime is clear for all to see, but why did the PA have to die? I don't know what you're talking about. These are all baseless lies. I left my office to move some files. It just slipped my mind in all the excitement. So, if we were to look through these files, would we find them completed? You did spend the whole morning on them after all. I admit I had trouble concentrating that morning. So much trouble, in fact, that you haven't even started on a single one of the files. You claim to have completed. The chief physician noticed this herself. Perhaps you should have come up with a better alibi. I can't believe you think I'm so stupid. The sheer audacity. My last murder was so challenging. My last murder was so... okay. That not even the police could solve it. And what should have been my masterpiece was instead attributed to an idiot. And you have the nerve to call me stupid? The last murder? Aha! And so we are presented with the solution to our riddle. The PA was fired from the hospital where he worked because he was suspected of involuntary manslaughter. But nothing could ever be proven against him because he didn't do it. Ironic, then, that this false accusation has now led to his own demise. You committed the perfect murder, and instead of getting away with it, you followed him all the way here just to get revenge? You wouldn't understand how an artist's mind works. He stole my work, and when I saw him snooping around the chief physician's office, it became clear he was nothing but a phony. He'd only have done the same thing again, rested on other people's laurels. Well, you certainly have plenty of time to rest on your laurels. In prison. Oh, I can't believe we guessed it. I guess everything that was said was kind of makes sense if we had actually thought about it. But, well, there we have it. We need to get to a save point here, so let's talk with people here. Wow, my hands are still shaking. I always get a kick out of acting. I'll be up all night tonight, even without coffee. Shame you sussed me out, though. I thought I did a pretty convincing job. Well, you all did, to be honest. So, what did you think of the show? The show? Well, if you can even call that hammy acting a show, then I'd say it was pretty straightforward. The solution was obvious, of course. That bunch of amateurs made it easy for you. Hey, that's not very nice. Niceness has nothing to do with it. It's about acting, the only thing that keeps us grounded in this world. Do you have any tips for me? I don't know if it's worth the effort. I can't really spare the time. I must leave now. Farewell. You don't have any tips, do you? Hello? The statue's not answering me anymore. Was great, Finley. Phew, that was exciting. My knees are still knocking. The way you solved the murder, awesome. I'm gonna get going now. What about you guys? I'll stay here in the fresh air for a while longer. Finley, do you have a moment? Alright, get home safe then. Night night, crime busters. Okay, I would really like to save. I didn't know it was about a murder. Sorry, I hope that wasn't too much for you. I really enjoyed it though. Without you, I probably wouldn't have come. Thanks for getting my mind off things. Finley, I don't know how you're feeling right now. I don't know what it's like when somebody dies on you for the first time. But I have to assume that it'll happen to me sometime too. And I'm pretty scared of it. Terrified actually. But it's also part of the job. And a good doctor needs to be able to handle it. Hey, it might never happen to you. You're a great doctor. I think that's unrealistic. But when it happens, I want to be ready. What are you thinking right now? Not much. All I want to do right now is sleep. And thank you for joining in. I wouldn't have had the nerves for it without you. Maybe you'll want to do it again in the future. But next time, I want to be the detective. I'd be honored to have you solve my murder. Okay, let's I want to keep going, or I can manage. What's the difference here? I can manage? I'm sure you can. And if you're struggling, you can always come to me. Just like I do with you. But I'll be all right too, I think. Both with this and with life here in general. I think I like it here. The people, the little streets. The hibernation festival was great. I think I could feel at home here, especially with a partner in crime like you. Let's make sure that as few people die here as possible. That's the deal. Deal? Yes. Deal. Okay, let's go to bed ski and let's call that a... Let's hope we get a good night's sleep. That was an extremely long episode, much longer than I thought. That was a long theatrical play. It was very fun, but it was, I will be honest, and it was mostly a guess towards the end there. For now though, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.